Hi again, people. One and only more in a Ravenberg here again. Yeah, as you can tell, the header already says it. Beware, 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 a million times beware and then some of misinformation. I'm going to read from my own article and then I'm going to get into it. You can find the article linked in the description of this video as always, and as usual. I'm just going to straight out say it, the way I nearly always do. There is a shit ton of misinformation out there. Be very, very aware of regarding the occult, what you believe that you read online, because the absolute majority of it is straight up nonsense. There are people out there that will have offensive hogwash based content or statements out there. Out there also needs to go. I'm sorry, this is a draft, so there are one or two things that need to be phrased differently. This is literally a draft. I haven't even published the article yet. I repeat, I haven't even published the article yet. In any case, there are people out there that will have offensive hogwash based content or statements that, for example, an angel used to be a pagan god. A year has zodiacal afflictions. That a planet that deals with death and negativity brings health and success and related. It's like it physically hurts me. It's like someone is taking a knife and slowly but surely digging it into my skull. How do you recognize misinformation from legit material? If the author or creator can actually explain in detail what time it is and how everything fits together and how it's valid in relation to his content. I'm not boasting for myself, but I don't care who thinks I do either, but my content is legit all the way regarding credibility, as all, if not at least most of you know. If I was wrong regarding something, that day has yet to come. Ha ha ha. Okay, not that I obviously think excessively highly of myself in that way, but that day really has to come. Okay, obviously I would never claim to be Father Almighty or anything like that. No. But again, that day really has yet to come. If it will come at all, which is highly, highly, highly unlikely. I shall be the first one to admit it. Yeah, the article is self-explanatory. And again, like I said, sorry for those brief pauses, but while I'm at it, I simply said I'm just gonna need to make the corrections while I'm at it. It's a draft, so before I publish it, I'm still going to review it and proofread it and change one or two minor things that sound better when vocalized and whatnot. Yeah, listen, and now I'm simply going to say what I have to say regarding this subject in a freestyle fashion. Yes, we all know that any credible person knows that there is a shit ton of information out there that just makes you angry if you're a legitimate occultist, let alone if you're me. 99% of all the stuff you find out there is absolute shit. I've had people, okay, I think someone made a comment on one of my videos lately. Perfect example. Okay, the person asked me who God is, who Jesus is, are Jesus and God one and the same, or are they the same entity, or what's the deal exactly? And I was like, no, Jesus is the Son of God, end of story. And the person was like, okay, I just see information on the internet. Or I've heard left and right that I've heard different things left and right. For example, I've heard that Jesus is a pagan solar god or a pagan sun god. And it just goes on that they're one and the same. It's just this kind of shit just pisses you off sometimes, in a matter of speaking. But thank goodness I don't pay attention to that crap. Simple example, Magnolia. When I interacted with her, we used to play games where we ask questions and whatnot. This is back when I, so to speak, trained her, and I'm not blaming her specifically, obviously. She doesn't know better, obviously. It's just, and she wrote down. I essentially simply told her, okay, I'm gonna school you on the basics. Okay, you essentially, when I call you later, we're simply going to have a chat about planets and their attributes. She looked up information online and she told me, okay, Saturn is the planet that brings love and light and health and success. To the point where I almost got angry. And I just instinctively told her, what the hell are you doing? And she was like, what do you mean, what the hell are you doing? And I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry. I was like addressing what you said rather than you, if that makes any sense. I was just almost so, I never get angry, honestly. You really have to like do something legendarily stupid for me to get angry. But yeah, that pretty much is the last time the only time I can remember, you know, that's the last time I can remember having come borderline close to angry. And I thought to myself, yeah, sure, no problem. Saturn, the planet that deals with death and destruction, necessary death and destruction, the planet that is the literal embodiment spiritually for negativity, for necessary negativity, necessary hardship, necessary pain and suffering that you need to go through in order to come out on top and to become better. The planet that essentially symbolizes the concept of what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. The planet that literally deals with all of that. The planet that deals with, you know, beginning and endings, well, rather endings, okay, not so much beginnings, but the end of something and the inadvertent beginning of something to replace that. Example is a house being broken down so it can make way for a new mall, or a neighborhood being freaking demolished because it's going to be turned into a mega mall. That's Saturn. And yeah, the planet that deals with all of that is responsible for love and light and health and success and happiness. Yeah, sure. And I asked her, I was like, where the fuck did you get that thing from? From a website online. I'm like, what fucking website? I'm like, yeah, okay, listen, I don't want to know. Just don't look anything up anymore, okay? Just only follow my content. End of story. Just don't. Another example, okay, picture perfect example is that it just goes on. Okay, I've seen someone actually use a Hebrew seal with Hebrew letters for a freaking pagan god. Can you imagine that? That's just, I was just like, what the fuck? When I saw that, I literally saw someone actually use a Hebrew seal, the kind of seal that you only make for angels and demons, for holy spirits, elemental spirits, spirits that directly or indirectly come from God, as opposed to man-made spirits like pagan gods and whatnot. And you use that for a pagan god, seriously. A god that was created by a civilization, by an ancient civilization, because they didn't know better, they needed an explanation for the forces that they saw around them and all the aspects of life. And yet you're going to use a Christian seal, okay? A Jewish/Christian seal, essentially symbolizing divinity for a pagan god, a non-divine being, a non-divine entity. Oh, I've seen someone insinuate or essentially attribute zodiac signs to years, and I'm like, what the fuck? Ages are correct. The age of Aquarius, yeah, we come from that, okay? People that were born within my age class. I was born when the age of Aquarius was only beginning, essentially, when it was on the cusp. That's what I'm talking about, okay? I think before that it was the age of Pisces, obscurity. My point is, all of that makes sense. Just like I say in my article, how do you know when someone is like, when what they're saying is actually legit? Of course, you're more than welcome to challenge what they're saying, but you need to be able to elaborate on that. That's why I literally do it every single time. I'm not just saying, hey people, this is this, that is that, and yeah, that's all there is to it. No, I literally always elaborate. This is why this is the case. That's why that's the case. This is how it works. This is how the mechanism works. This is how this works. That's how that works. Down to the nitty gritty, literally from top to bottom and vice versa. I could easily also explain, because in the beginning I also didn't like pay attention to crap like that when I was a child. But when I became an occultist, I was like, hey, wait a minute. The age of Aquarius is like correct. It is so correct. I grew up as a kid. I grew up, and as a child, I literally saw the world go from being separate, segregated, and obscured, essentially. Stuff like flying abroad, going to places left and right. These things were like only for like highly excluded or elite individuals, so to speak, wannabe elite individuals, like only for diplomatic reasons. Okay, any kind of traveling globally was very minimal, especially compared to now. There was no globalization, there was nothing. Everybody lived in their part of the world and that was the end of it. Okay, you had no idea what was going on, what was happening outside in the rest of the world. Only source of information you had was news like CNN and whatnot, just as an example. Mainstream news outlets that would tell you something and would show you footage. But that's my point exactly. Okay, as opposed to nowadays when literally everything you want to know is at your fingertips. I literally thought about everything and I said to myself, wait a minute, the age of Aquarius is correct. We are indeed in the age of Aquarius. And when I was an occultist, I was like, yeah, I literally saw the world go from nothing to the internet being invented, the computers being invented, going from MS-DOS to Windows and every other operating system you can think of, to smartphones being developed, to social media rising. Everything impacted the world, the entire world and mankind as a whole. We literally went from complete obscurity to literally having anything and everything I want to know at my fingertips in a matter of speaking. I want to know what life looks like in Lithuania. I literally am just one search engine search away, one Google search away or similar, one Bing search away, one YouTube search away. I want to know real estate prices in Lithuania. I literally can look at all of that. And common sense coupled with existing knowledge that I had before, pre-existing knowledge before I actually looked up what I was looking up, will tell me whether it's correct. I can make an assumption regardless of the source. If I see, for example, that I have to pay 10,000 euros a month in rent, I'm going to be like, yeah, that's crap. Okay. For the average one-bedroom apartment. And I'm like, nah, that's crap. Obviously, that's crap. Common sense tells you that. My point is all the information I want, everything, contact information, phone number, email address, everything at your fingertips. I was born in 1985, September the 29th. People that are of my age class, they know what I'm talking about. The very first social media website I used was MySpace. And it went from there. And then guess what, 2010, when I was already an adult and taking care of myself, I was in my 20s. It was Facebook, everything exploded. My point is, you can see it, okay? The whole age-based time periods or time eras, the occult affinity of assigning zodiac signs to eras is correct. Because I'm like, yeah, no, all of that is correct. Everything. The entire world literally was completely shaken to its core thanks to technology. And technology caused globalization. People globally could talk to each other behind the comfort of their own screens. Someone can literally be in, ignore that. Someone can literally be in freaking Afghanistan and I can chat with the person through video call, everything I want. I pick the platform, everything and anything you want to know. You can have it in the way of information. So I was like, yeah, that's correct. We are indeed in the age of Aquarius. And of course, that's no longer the case when COVID first hit. Essentially, we officially entered the age of Capricorn, as far as I know. I'm not entirely sure, but I think it has to be Capricorn based on what we already know as disproportionate and legendary levels of authoritarianism. If you went back in time when I was born and you told someone that, hey, listen, in like 40 years, someone is going to, the world is going to be so like dystopian and so Orwellian that you're going to scratch your head and be like, what the fuck? People would say, yeah, fuck off, conspiracy theorists, go wear your tinfoil hat. That will never happen. Yeah, guess what? Now here we are, and governments and global companies that essentially that encompass the entire world, or a good portion of it, literally want to rule over the world, in a matter of speaking, if that makes any sense. And more than a few of them want to actually dictate what you can say and do online, and want to literally follow and record every single movement you make. They literally want to control you and turn you into a puppet, and the world is their global puppet state. And they can do whatever they want, whenever they want, however they want. Doesn't matter how immoral it is, how illegal it is. And, the rules apply to them, but not to thee. The rules don't apply to them, it applies to you. And that's what they want to do. And that's why we entered around 2018, honestly. Yeah. Not 2019. Let's just say around 2020, I think. That's when the age of Capricorn officially began. It was already coming, as in, yeah, it's coming, baby, it's coming. But yeah, we're pretty much in the prime of the age of Capricorn, the Capricornian age. My point is, see, everything is clearly explainable and you can factually see it around you. The entire world, globally, it affects everyone. So the whole system, I don't know who came up with that system, but the whole concept of basing ages on zodiac signs, or better said, basing time periods on zodiac signs in time in mankind's history is correct. Okay, so for example, every semi-century, every 50 years, every 5 decennia, every century, yeah, you can tell that it makes sense. It's based on fact. It's undeniable, like irrefutable, unquestionable. But you know, just willy-nilly. I mean, the person I saw literally just affiliated years with zodiac sign. For example, it's the year of Taurus, it's the year of Aries, and the year of Pisces, and I was like, what the fuck? What kind of fucking metric is that based on? That doesn't make a lick of sense. What possible metric can it be? What possible metric is it based on? It's not based on anything. There is no. How can you validate that? How can you seriously validate it? How is it factual? How can you prove and elaborate on it? Nothing. Nothing. There is nothing. Okay? Whatever pathetic elaborations you try to attempt can immediately be discredited. I've never heard of something like that. So you can safely make the conclusion that, hey, the person is full of shit and the person is talking out of their ass. It's just absolute nonsense. I saw someone also, for example, a good while ago, like years ago, I saw someone equate the angel burial with an Egyptian god. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, yeah, obvious hogwash. I'm just gonna ignore it. I won't even bother with that. I've worked with the angel burial, the lunar angel burial for years. That's hilarious. Actually, stating that an angel has pagan origins, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. At best, okay, they can be confused with one another, or they can mistakenly be seen as the same. But an angel is a divine being that was created by God Almighty directly, okay, or indirectly. And by indirectly, I only mean, for example, through other angels, but generally speaking, that is not the case. The archangels were created by God, as in poof, 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 in a matter of speaking. No man-made gods, okay? Pagan gods or egregories that were literally created by people. As in, oh, I don't know why my slippers are so comfortable. There has to be a creature, a divine being that's responsible for this comfort. I'll create Comfortia, goddess of comfort. Yes, that's how it came into existence. That's how they literally came into existence. It's just, again, so it's almost borderline offensive that you would equate a pagan god with a divine spirit, a divine being like an angel. But yeah, whatever. Bottom line is stupidity, especially mankind's stupidity is like a black hole. But when it comes to occultism, oh boy, do they take that black hole and they turn it into the biggest, blackest asshole you've ever seen. We're talking about literally the biggest, blackest anus you've ever seen. Oh, that's truly the abyss, honestly. And yeah, I'm going to close off by saying, I've given enough examples. I'm going to close off by saying that I'm not tooting my own horn, but like I said, based on my knowledge and experience, I'm literally the only credible. So I'm not the only, sorry. I'm literally the most credible source out there. I'm not saying I'm the only one. There are others that are also credible here and there, but 99% is pure crap. And I am, at the very least, one of the most credible sources out there, if not the most credible. Okay, at the very least, one of the most credible. As far as I'm concerned, and I know, I am the most credible source out there. That's also why I explain everything. If someone asks me something, I can easily explain it. I'm not just gonna say, oh, okay, it's this and it's that. No, I can easily explain everything. Literally everything. The same way that a doctor can explain to you how your entire digestive tract works, what works when you consume food, how everything happens the way it happens. I can do all of that. Or at the very, 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 very least, most of that. So I don't give a rat's ass who thinks I'm arrogant. I think too highly of myself. You know, like I said, I really don't care. Okay, I know my worth in that department, and that's the end of it. So that's all, guys. The message is clear. Be very aware of this kind of bull crap, okay? Because there's nothing but bull crap out there, okay? If you're looking for legit information, just visit my website and my YouTube channel, and that's essentially it. Or if you do look at someone else, okay, even when you look at me, as long as you can tell that that person or me can actually explain everything and everything makes sense, it's based on fact. Just like I stated in my article, if they can explain in detail the who, the what, the where, the why, and the how everything fits together, how it's valid, how it links up with fact, then it is, and how it's ultra plausible, then you can trust it. Other than that, it's like asking a politician when a road is going to get constructed and he just gives you some stupid speech about the history of the road, as in, funny thing that you mentioned that. Okay, this road, I think the idea for a road came to mind in 1915, blah blah fucking blah. I'm not interested in any of that crap. I'm asking when the road is going to get constructed in this metaphorical context. If you can give me a straightforward answer as in, okay, in 2 weeks, we estimate in a year, then it already says that you're full of shit. But yeah, most politicians are. Not that I'm putting a political spin on things. I'm simply giving an example, a closing example. Bye bye. That's enough. Bye bye.